Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kelly, do we have to do a roll call again?
Yes.
All right, there we go.
Mics are off.
Thank you.
Greg's on.
Newberry.
Here.
Crowner.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Lees. Here. Young.
Here.
Okay, I'd take a motion to approve our agenda.
So move. Support.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve is presented. Support.
Motion and support, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. All right, so we have some council and staff reports. Greg is on.
Nothing much tonight, Your Honor. I did get contacted by another entity looking at multi-res market rate housing in the community. I'll be giving more information, and I'll certainly share that information with you. Met with Zach James and Chad Bird as well, just talking about some of the planning efforts that are going on, economic development, and infrastructure in the community. I think regional planning is doing several interviews on that as well. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Public Works,
Nope, not unless someone has something for me.
thank you. Jesse?
I got two things. First one is Officer McCampbell has finished the DARE at the school, and graduation is Friday at 1 p.m. at the West Burlington Elementary School. All staff and council is more than welcome to attend that at the elementary school. So we got the program all figured out, and so we're on to that. And then the other thing, Councilman Crowner spoke with State Representative Rinker and talking about providing us something, and I would like Ringo to come up here. Ringo graduated. Ringo retired on February 3rd of 2023, and this is a flag that was flown at the State House on that day that Representative Rinker wanted to provide you. It's the Iowa flag that was flown that day, so that's for you from Rinker. So so that was awesome that Rinker was able to get that for him. So never heard that done before. So this will be for Ringo to have, and we just again want to thank him for his years of service, and so I just wanted to give that to him tonight.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Yep, that's all I have.
Thank you. Fire?
I don't have nothing that awesome. It's that season. Mow your lawns, please. Time to mow. Get it done in between rainstorms, whatever you have to do. On the fire side, we did some training Monday night. That went real well. Did something we don't normally do, and that is work with the larger lines, the 2.5-inch diameter. So hopefully that's the only time we have to pull those off the fire trucks.
Thank you. Clerk? Anything from finance that you know of? Okay, thank you. Melanie, anything from you?
I'm taking parade applications for the 4th of July parade, and that's about it. So get your applications in, be part of the parade. Thank you.
Therese?
Working on the bike races, and I'm debating on the kids' parade since we've had a poor showing for the last couple of years. We just may either incorporate it, as Andy suggested, into the regular parade, or we'll see.
John?
I have nothing.
Andy?
It's time for raffle ticket sales. So just got them in today. We'll start sending those out to groups next week. So if anybody listening has a group that wants to sell raffle tickets, they sell for $2 each. Your group gets to keep $1. Several groups sell multiple thousands of dollars a year for us and make that back for their group. I know I've been involved in the Alumni Association for many years that we actually fund 2 scholarships after on the other side of that dollar. So easy thing to do, just come in City Hall and sign up a form and grab some tickets and go sell them. That's it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see our chairs full tonight. Thank you for taking opinions on our community and letting us hear it.
Okay. I don't have anything specifically, so I will save mine for later. Burlington Community Public Library.
Hello, how do you typically have speak, do you want me to
Usually
sit?
just come up there, the microphone should be live, you should be able to,
You can adjust it.
you can adjust it as you want to, and you can sit, or if you want to stand, that's
I don't
up
think
to
I'd
you.
be able to see you over the computer if
Oh,
I stand. So I'll go ahead and stand. Very nice to meet you all. Thank you for letting me come and chat with you today. My name is Brittany Jacobs. I'm the new director over at the Burlington Public Library, right next door. I took over in October after Rhonda Freevert went on to greener pastures up in Des Moines. And with next week being National Library Week, I thought this would be a good time to come and introduce myself, give you a little background about what we're doing, talk about our bookmobile that should be coming in the next 18 to 20 months, hopefully, and then wrap it up with chat about West Burlington classes for summer reading. With me taking over, one of the first questions I got at the library was, what's the new vision for the Burlington Public Library with the new director? And the short answer is that there's no new vision. I just talk slightly differently about what Rhonda and Kay and all of the previous directors had already been doing at the library. The Burlington Public Library is exceptional in a few different areas. It's way larger than a town of 25,000 merits. It's got a fabulous roster of events and programs that are always free to the community, and we've been able to expand our services by having 28 e-contracts like we have with West Burlington that offers your patron or your community members to have access to over 165,000 circulating items. That includes cake pans and double Dutch ropes and large print books and we just have a lot going on at that library as far as what you can check out. And we're constantly looking to reinvent the library. One of the ways in which I'm talking about that is shifting the focus from being data-centered to human-centered. And what that means is when libraries were created back in the 1800s, they had to be data-centered because we had this huge amount of knowledge that we were binding in books, and we had to be able to catalog it and organize it in a way that was easy to retrieve. Now, as we're nearing the end of the 21st century, getting ready to barrel into the 22nd century, libraries have become community spaces in their communities, and we're able to transition away from looking at the data so much because a lot of it is automated. Metadata is something that is lower on the priority list for librarians now, but community development has garnered its way to the top. And so we're able to let computers and systems take over some of that workflow that used to take up a lot of our time and focus on how we can respond to and interact with our communities in ways that's relevant and that meets the needs. And one of those elements for the Burlington Public Library in particular is focusing on outreach. We are a single system destination library, meaning that we're not in a residential area. To go to this library, you have to intentionally get up and walk or ride your bike or drive to get there. You can't just serendipitously stumble upon it. So that's what I mean when I say it's destination. And with the reach that we have, most people have to travel quite a ways to come and utilize the library. So one of the ways that we're looking at maintaining our budget and also expanding our reach outside of the building is outreach. We do a lot of community events. We're in the West Burlington schools on a monthly basis reading to the first grade kids and looking to expand that. We participated in your 4th of July event last summer, and we are looking at getting a bookmobile. The funding has already been secured. We have a foundation that is real generous with how they support us, and so they have committed to paying for the entire bookmobile. And this is going to take place of what once was a drop box idea here in West Burlington. The drop box is a one-way transaction, and because of the nature of the box, unless you're looking at spending over $80,000, it's not an immediate check-in, so it doesn't offer any services aside from convenience. You could just leave a book at the box, but it would still be a delay in checking it in. It would still mean you'd have to come back over to Burlington to check out a new book. Whereas a bookmobile is a roaming little library. We're going to be able to take returns on the bus. We're also going to be able to check out materials and offer programming. So it's really a 3 whammy deal that we've got going with this bookmobile. And what we're going to be doing is using this bookmobile to gather data on the communities that are further out from the Burlington periphery. So when we come to West Burlington, we'll be scouting out different locations to see where's the high need at, what kind of services and what kind of items are being requested over here, and is there anything more permanent beyond a bookmobile that we can talk about having a partnership with you all moving forward from there. So the bookmobile, currently there's quite a backlog on purchasing new vehicles, and so we're kind of pivoting and looking at what can we get that's used that would get us on the road a little bit faster. Last summer and the summer before, what we've done is borrow the Burlington School District's food truck, and we use that as a bookmobile, but we've been keeping that local to the Burlington YMCA and some of the city camps that we have going on. So hopefully by next summer we'll be able to have our own bookmobile that we can then use to get out into the other communities that contract with us and who we fall within our service area. As I mentioned, next week is National Library Week. Then May is our pause month, and we get ready to barrel into what is bananas season for us, is summer reading. June and July, we have a roster of just about over 100 events for kids, teens, babies, seniors. We've got something for all ages this summer happening almost every single day at the library and off-site. So we're still looking at outreach and how we can meet people where they're at with our summer programming. And one of the things that we're doing is scaling back from summer reading and transitioning into summer learning. We're looking at a lot of research in neuroscience that shows that whole-centered learning helps kids who are most struggling with literacy between that 3rd and 5th grade range, which is, if you go all the way back to why did summer reading start with public libraries, it was because there was a significant drop-off at that 3rd grade mark in literacy skills, which then impacted their education trajectory all the way up through the early college years. So the harder you fall after 3rd grade, the longer it takes you to get back up to an at-level skill. And so libraries stepped in to help fight the summer slide, where a lot of that cognition loss happened between the last day of school in May and the first day of school in the fall. And libraries helped to fill that gap by offering reading incentives. And now, about 30 years in, we've realized, based on research, that incentivizing reading with tchotchkes and prizes doesn't actually work for the kids who need the help most. And so what we've done is we're scaling back on the incentives. So every time a kid comes into the library, they don't get a prize. But what we're doing is we're elevating the quality of what we are giving out. This allows us to move away from plastics and tchotchkes and give out things that are interactive and further education and entertainment at home. And it allows us to operate, cast a wider net because we're doing fewer things. And it also puts the emphasis on the interaction and the experience you have at the library, which is really our goal. We want to create positive reading experiences, and we want to create positive learning experiences across multi-generations, and we want to have those positive associations with the library. I'm not sure if Rebecca had shared this story with you before, but when I was 8, I was banned and kicked out of my local public library. And I did not go back into libraries until I was in undergraduate school. So the fact that I'm working in libraries now is very ironic. But I fully realize that there's a stereotype and a stigmatism about libraries and who librarians are. And that stereotype and those tropes precede a lot of interactions that we have with people. And so when we're thinking about inviting more people into our space, into the library, we're also trying to bust open these stereotypes and show people that we're a welcoming community space. We still have the books, we still circulate items, we still operate in a traditional sense, but we are so focused on people now. And librarians, particularly Burlington Public Library and our other Iowa area libraries, they're not, the librarians aren't sitting there waiting for you to break a rule. That's not how we spend our days. Those are not our goals and objectives. We want people to have access to information, and we want them to have positive experiences in our space and when they see us out in the community. So with the summer reading coming up, we are asking our local areas to participate in those incentives that we are giving away, which again are fewer, but we're trying to make sure they're quality items and that they're items that either engage kids at home or get them out into other entities within our communities. And so last year, we had asked you, and I believe several years prior, we had asked West Burlington to allow us to print off coupons for one admission to your West Burlington school as one of the coupon incentives that we have with our summer reading. So I'm not sure exactly how this went last year, Kelly, if it was a voted on item.
They voted on if we wanted to allow them to issue the coupons, which they did, and we had 218 coupons returned from the ones that you had issued.
So all of that to say, it's very nice to meet you. I am excited about the potential that we have in West Burlington. We're looking at doing a few different stationary things around your community, particularly with the mall and the robust walkers that you have there. I met them when I had to go and get my driver's license. So there's a few places around town where we can definitely plant some library-related items and try and get people aware that they have access to, like I said, a really robust system, and then start planning for how we can move forward with our contracting communities. Does anybody have any questions?
Just a couple comments. I don't have a question, but thank you for explaining your vision. And I want to thank you for just the new energy I feel when I go to the library. And I want to thank Rebecca Teeter for kind of making me feel like the $50,000 we commit each year to the library is being very well spent, and West Burlington residents are getting their money's worth, quote unquote.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she'll go to the library and talk, so don't kick her out.
Yes,
I promise. I won't kick you out.
I only had one. Is there any kind of field trip that our school does to bring kids down to the library?
Not that I'm aware of. We
Okay.
certainly would welcome them, but I have not. This reading in the first grade classrooms is the first partnership that has happened since I've been here I've been here for about a year and a half.
If there's any way I can help get that together, I would be happy to. But I feel that's important for people to actually walk in the building.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I have some cards. I will leave my card with you
Okay, please
today,
do.
and I'd like to connect and
Okay,
see if we
thank
can
you.
make that happen.
So with the bookmobile, will it go all over your whole area, or is it just stationed like around here, or will it go to Danville, Denmark, or how far will it reach out?
It'll cover all of our service area. Currently, Danville is the only city in the county that doesn't contract with us. But I am planning on approaching their council with another 28E agreement. But we will go in all of the areas that we have service. And that's all of Des Moines County. We also contract with 4 counties in Illinois. So we've got a wide stretch of area to hit with this. But the bookmobile is going to be loaded up, and we have one open position that we're trying to fill at the manager of outreach and program services. And so that person will coordinate all of the stops. And it's all going to be data driven. We're going to look at our hot spots, and then as we move forward, we'll collect more information on where we need to be going more frequently and what we need to be preparing the bus with when we go out, whether it's internet access, book access, programs, community resources, so
So
forth.
at the beginning, would you say there's 100 stops or 50 stops?
I couldn't give you a number off the bat. We'll probably start with our school connections at the beginning and use that to get the word out with the community that we are going around and expanding our services with the bookmobile. The schools tend to be an in, and it's a captive audience, and so if we can connect with the kids, especially in Burlington, West Burlington, beyond the first graders, then we can bank on them telling their parents, and then word spreading that way, and kind of moving from there. But that's a nice controlled group that we can start with and move outside.
And the reason I was asking that was, do you think you'll come to West Burlington once a week, once a month, once?
Certainly, I anticipate being here at least once a week. Yeah, if not more.
Your Honor, just a quick comment.
Yes.
I had a community or city library in the previous community had a bookmobile, and just as a comparison, and I'm not sure how large this program will grow, how fast it will grow, but it went out every single day, anyway, every single day of the year, delivering books to those in need and other programs. So hopefully this one grows quickly as well.
I would echo that. I hope it grows as well.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Teeter, do you have a report for people?
I do have a report.
Hand that out.
I typed up copies of the report this time because of having Brittany here to speak. I thought maybe that would be easier than having me talk.
Excellent.
Thank you. So it's brief. If you have questions, you can.
Thank you.
I know. Thank you.
No.
Thanks. I appreciate having this. I like having the info rather than just hearing it, so I can review it later.
Now I can continue to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
great.
It'd be great.
I don't know if this is the time, but last year, of course, we had a library presence at the 4th of July.
I've already reserved the spot.
Okay.
Yep, you're all set. Yep, if you for some reason have a bookmobile by then, let me know and we'll get a bigger spot.
Okay.
Okay, I have a proclamation declaring that April 23rd through the 29th is National Library Week. And I would, rather than read the whole thing to you, because time considerations, present this to Brittany.
Thank you very much.
And with that, we'll move on to citizen inquiries. So if we have anyone who wants to speak to the council from the group that's assembled here, if you come up and approach the microphone, state who you are and where you live, you're welcome to do that. These would be on topics that we are discussing tonight.
Hi, my name's Cody Schlitter. I've worked for West Burlington for 4 years, and I was a police officer 2 years before that. We're just here to show support for things you guys are discussing tonight. I don't have anything specific to add, just wanted to be here and show that support, what you guys are considering.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ringo Covert, prior employee of the city of West Burlington. How's that? Usually I'm pretty loud. I assume there was going to be a vote tonight on a new employee, and Officer Chip Perez from Burlington. I've known him for 20 years, worked with him for 20 years, exceptional officer, and if the city votes to have him on, I'm sure hopefully he will. It's a huge gain for our officers, our younger officers, our older officers. He's a tremendous amount of knowledge and experience, and I guess if you compare it to sports, to have somebody like this to come in with that much experience behind him it's nothing but a positive for our department, our community. And fortunate for us, when we lose officers, which we have in the past several years, to our other agencies within our own county, they always know the unknown. And the unknown is the person's personality. And well, of course, they worked with our officers. They cherry pick them because they already know they're going to pick. This time, we know Officer Chiprez, and wow, he can walk in and save so much time. Sometimes it takes almost a year to a year and a half to train a new officer, not counting the money that's involved in it. And we always are concerned about money, but just sending somebody to the academy and the training that takes place. The overtime that's involved in that training for that, you're talking maybe 20,000, and I don't think I'm exaggerating the numbers, probably even higher than that. I know that Officer McCampbell and Officer Sluter did a lot of investigations on the cost of that last year. The savings is incredible. And not only that, but then it allows other officers to continue their training because they're not concentrating on just the new officer that they're training. And we're fortunate that Officer Chiprez has chosen to come here, and I guess I miss out. But our citizens are already familiar with Officer Chiprez. A lot of them have already seen him, worked with him. He knows our community. He knows the pulse. We're a different community than others. We do handle things differently here. He's aware of that. Like I said, I've worked with him on some serious cases before, and to have that expertise walk in is just nothing but positives for us. And I certainly hope that thinking outside the box a little bit too, that if Officer Chiprez is voted in, or that he could start at full wages, and because we don't offer bonuses like the other agencies do for experienced officers, we're bringing in somebody who's already part of our community, basically the Des Moines County community. We're familiar with them. There's no reason why, I guess, me to bring him in at full wage and have the vacation rights of somebody that's been employed here, because thinking outside the box again, we know that the Burlington officers have a different pension plan than we do. And in the future, if we have officers that are reaching the age of 55 and are retiring at Burlington and we're short an officer, why not offer, why don't you come on over here, collect your pension over there, and still be a valuable asset to the county. And this could maybe stimulate just something in the future. You never know. And that's sort of what I was thinking. I can't really add any more to that, but I do know this, that Officer Chiprez did not ask me to speak in here. I was actually planning on coming. But if any of the officers, including myself, asked people to come here and support Officer Chiprez to be selected, this place would be packed with people. There's always going to be somebody complaining once in a while, but I guarantee you this place would be packed with people if we would ask other people to be here, including the executive officers from Burlington PD. That's all I got to say, unless someone has a question for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Mayor, City Administrator, wherever you're hiding at, Council. I've been an officer for 20 years, here for 14. So I know Ringo was talking about the finance side, so I'm not going to do that anymore. However, I've been a detective, an investigator, and a patrolman. I've worked with Chiprez on all three. All positive, all proactive, no issues. I've seen him work with other officers. He's came to the aid of West Burlington officers. Matter of fact, he did that for me, was it last weekend? I know we've came over to Burlington and worked with him for their aid. All positive, all productive, no issues. If he is selected, it would be an immediate, direct impact for the city and for the police department. I feel with his training and his knowledge, he'd be able to easily teach some of us, and the old dogs here too, new tricks that he's learned from Burlington from their different experiences there. So, just up here, 20 years, I never came up here to talk. So, my support for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing no other items on this, then we'll move on. We'll go into our new business. First item of new business is to consider a request from the Burlington Public Library to donate daily pool passes for the West Burlington Summer Reading Program.
So moved. Support.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, discussion?
Yeah, are we just,
Sorry.
like, 250, I think is what we did last year, or just as needed? What are we doing?
I think we allowed them to issue them to the participants in the program, and we ended up with 218 returned at the pool.
Okay.
I'm sure they
That's
issued
for a
more than
one-day
that, but
pass?
that's what we ended up.
118 one-day passes.
Is that the intent, that it's one per person?
Right, it's one per child.
Okay.
And we stamp them all so that they can't be replicated, but they can stamp each summer, so that nobody's going on copy
Hmm?
and
Okay.
Well, I'd like to put some kind of a limit on that. You know, I don't want to put, you know, if it turns out to be 500, you know, that might be a little different.
I think the kids will put their own limit on it.
Yeah, they might.
I mean, I think that's probably the highest that we've ever done, and before we had like,
Have the rest of, I don't have the history
you
on
know,
it.
have the
We-
statistics.
The Y did it before, worked with them before, but I don't know how you cut it off. It's only one per, it's not something you hand out every time they come in, so.
No, it's once in the summer we get this.
Yeah.
So they have to go through the whole reading.
It's essentially not costing us anything.
You're right.
Because they may or may not have come here.
How many participants do you have in the program?
Last year we had, including the teenagers and adults, 1,500. Yeah, 1,500. We had about 900 kids last year. To which we handed out 900 coupons, and we got 250 as a
Yeah.
result.
That's
Yeah.
I can't imagine us getting, that we've got more than that back from the program.
So if we put a 250 on it, then it wouldn't hurt nothing.
Because you don't know who's
So
gonna,
at 250 signups, you, no more?
250 tickets out.
We can,
Whatever
and if
you
we'd
want.
exceed that, we can reconsider it. I
We
mean,
can
darn, wouldn't that be a
reconsider.
great problem to have?
I think you're
If you got 1,200
misunderstanding.
people that could possibly do it, then it's a whole
Great.
different ballgame. Well, it's
They
good,
get a free
but,
pass in, they spend that $5 on concessions that are gonna be awesome. We get our money back.
and then
And they bring the buddy, the friend, the pal.
There's 250.
That's my
sign up.
thinking.
I think you're misunderstanding what they're requesting. They're gonna give one to every student who signs up. So you only want the first 250 kids who sign up to receive a pass?
Don't they
completes
have
the
to read a
course.
certain amount,
Where we-
Becky, to get that pass?
The way that we're doing it is every other week. We're giving away some type of incentive, so there's 4 incentives, and week 2 is the coupon week, and so everyone who completes the reading, 5 days of reading that week, will get the coupon. So to say, yeah, 250 would be hard to benchmark, because sign-up starts on May 1st, but is it the first 250 that show up that week? I mean, we provide all of the paper and the material, so if that was a concern, then we take care of all of the logistical backside of this. But last year and years prior, what we did was we gave every single of those 950 kids a coupon, and then
Only 218
218,
came
so
back to us.
20% redemption rate or so. 25%.
I think one for each participant sounds correct with this program, and I'll say from a prior experience in that industry, getting someone in the door that maybe doesn't come regularly usually brings more visits for us in the future. So I'm okay with that. My only ask would be, I'd like to have a date of expiration on it, so 3 years from now, we're not worried about those
It
walking
expires
in.
at the end of the season.
That's
It's
it.
good for one season, and that's what the coupon will say on it for the 2023 season.
Okay.
I can live with that.
All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. We approve a liquor license renewal for Uncle Ronnie's, oops, excuse me, my computer shut off on me, I'm in the wrong area. Consider a quote from Dave Bassine Electric for the removal and installation of the pedestrian traffic signal pole on West Mount Pleasant Street.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. Discussion?
Is this is an insurance claim, right?
Yep.
Basically.
Hearing no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, consider approving a quote from Proline Striping in roadway striping services, for roadway striping services.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion on this?
Is this the only one we're doing? Just
By the time we got our budget done, I had a second one, and he backed out because he already had more than he could do for the summer. So by the time it come down to this is the only quote I have left. And these are the people that did it last year, and they didn't raise the price. They left it at what it was last year. So hopefully come next year, we can get through our budget sooner, and I can get locked in or have more options than just one. But the other people already filled up, so he emailed me and said he no longer could do it this year.
And nothing on gear on this? Why was I thinking gear had some, maybe not.
On gear.
Yeah, I thought.
It gets painted.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. There is no old business that I'm aware of. Any citizen inquiries for something not on our agenda? Okay. In that case, we have tabled our closed session, and I will take a motion to resume closed session.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I need to go out of, or close this meeting and then open up the, we'll go back into closed session.
Okay. In that case, I'll take a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Support.
Motion support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We appreciate your attendance here and the comments that you've made for us.